Hello, everybody. A very good afternoon. How are you guys doing? Hi, always. So, guys, yes, we are back again for another exciting online session today on Instagram. So, before we begin today's session, I think I am so mesmerized with what happened yesterday that I'm like not able to get over what all Tejal Patni said. How many of you guys were there for Tejal's session yesterday? I think by far it's been one of the best webinars on capturing wow. And there was so much to learn. I think I learned so much, and I know a lot of you guys also learned. This guy who's joining us has been 10 years into the filmmaking genre. He's been interacting with young enthusiasts. He's somebody who's won the Dada Saheb Phalke Award. He's a creator, he's an educator, he's a tech wizard. Yes, that's Shoot Guru Kshitij Shitak. So let's get Kshitij on board immediately. So I see Deepak Studio also joining us. So guys, I hope you know what are the upcoming sessions. I mean, yes, hi Kshitij, we can see you now.
Yeah, hi, love. How are you?
Very good. Super excited to meet you finally here on
Same here,
Instagram.
same here.
So awesome, guys. I think there are a lot of questions that I have for you. Interesting session with Kshitij. So Kshitij, we all know you've been so popular as Shoot Guru. So how did this Shoot Guru journey begin?
See, Shoot Guru is about almost 3 years old. I've been working for 10 plus years, and 3 years ago we realized that we wanted to give back to the community because what was happening was when we were hiring people across India, we ended up getting people who were making mistakes, very small mistakes, which you wouldn't
Okay.
expect from a professional. Then we realize it's not their fault. Why? Because they look at YouTube, they look at, they follow some people, they don't get the perfect direction, they don't get the perfect guidance to do take the
Right.
right steps. Hence, they are making mistakes. So we decided, okay, if we want to hire people across the spectrum for different projects, let's educate them first, give them the
Right.
right education, give them the right skills, so that we can hire them later for our projects.
Interesting. Okay.
And
That's
we
nice.
and we successfully we did, and after like 3 years of this, we did a hotel project for a very big client of ours, in which we did 14 shoots pan India. And I never traveled anywhere. All my photographers were connected through Shoot Guru. Then
Okay.
just recently, I did a project with Sennheiser, in which we had multi-city shoots happening the same day.
Okay.
Delhi, Mumbai, Bangalore, and everywhere. And we were able to get in touch with them. We were able to get these shoots executed and everything, and which was seamless. Why? Because I knew these people before, and some of them had worked with me previously, and some of them had studied with me at the academy and everything. So I was sure that whatever I tell them, they will be able to execute. Plus, they know the
Wow.
gear that I work on. They know the technology that I work on. So that was the idea. So the idea was to train an extended team. And so Kabir, who's the co-founder, Kabir and I,
Right.
and plus the team. So we've got Sushant, Ruchi, and all in the team, and a lot of people. We all of us like sat down together and decided, okay, let's start a platform where we can teach people and give them tips, tricks, basics, at least, so that if they don't want to spend money to get educated for getting the basics clear, they can at least learn it from here. And that is
Wow.
how the name, the shoot Guru name, because when we talk about Guru, it's a duty of a Guru to impart knowledge, and that is what
Right.
we've been trying to do.
Wow. That's very beautiful. And I think the vision that you said you have where you're trying to get people even work. So I think that's way beyond because I think there are a lot of people who are there who are ready to share education, but वो क्या सिखाने के बाद क्या? What next? So
नहीं, और मैं इसी पे अगर आप देखोगे my team right now, the core team is just 4 members, but we have a total team of 16 people working in office. The 12 have come from Shoot Guru.
okay.
And we hired from the community itself. We've got people like Saket, we've got people like Webhav, so somebody who studied with me, somebody who was a follower, I got him work and then I hired him. So on and so forth. As the team got extended, we started hiring people from the community itself. And what we realized that there is so much talent available in the market that people are not getting the opportunity to showcase it or do it. So like
Right.
my biggest prodigy is Praveen, who was my first follower. He was followed me when I had only 10,000 followers. Then he met us in Mumbai. Then he finished his 12th, came to me for a course, a small short-term course, and then moved permanently. Is doing his graduation and working simultaneously. So the
Wow.
video
Okay.
you posted, the bag video that you guys posted today is
Right.
actually his concept.
Okay. Interesting. Okay.
Yeah, so I look at such talent, such kids who come up with such talent and who are doing such great work. So we thought, okay, let's give them an opportunity. Like the behind the scenes of that video has been shot by Honey, who was a follower, joined us as an intern, is now working full time. Full time.
Wow. Nice. 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 So
Saket was a follower. I met him as a photo. He was a photographer. I switched
okay.
him to shooting video, and all the B-roll shots in that video have been taken by Saket. He's
Okay.
like
Interesting.
my product. He's amazing with products. He's amazing with portraits, and I
Okay.
just can't depend on him. He shoots all our videos that we do for brands also.
Right.
So
Nice.
everybody is coming from the community to contribute to our commercial work also.
Chalo. Nice. I think that whole setup that you've done, that's very interesting. That you come, learn with us, get trained, and of course work with us also. I think that's a great idea.
Yep, yep,
Moving on,
yep.
where did you learn your filmmaking from?
Okay, I'm an MBA marketing. I am an
Okay.
MBA marketing from Australia. I worked in marketing for 3 years. So starting 2006 till about 2008, 9, I was in Australia and I worked as a marketer. So since then, I was always because I was getting shoots done, I was always on the client end. So
Okay.
आज की date में if I sit in front of the client, I remember those days when I was the person sitting in on the other side.
Okay. Okay.
Right. So मैं इसीलिए मैं अपने clients को गाली नहीं देता. Right. Pun intended. Anyway, so coming back to so when I came back to India, this was 2008-9, and I realized that I didn't want to work in corporate anymore, and I thought, okay, let's do. I started working with my dad, but that didn't work out. I started learning. I had
Okay.
no option because I was shooting my first short film. It was a theater play being converted into a short film. And
Okay.
it just, we were friends, we were doing it together. I was putting in the money, I was directing it, I was doing everything. So I was learning everything from scratch by putting my own money.
Okay.
Because when the education bit came and I asked my father if I can learn filmmaking and photography, he said, listen, we've already spent so much money on your MBA. Just don't make us spend more money. Do whatever you want. So
Okay.
I kind of got into the mode of learning on the job. I worked as a light assistant, camera assistant, gaffer assistant, production assistant. I worked with like when I was working with TLC, so it wasn't TLC directly. It was a production house that I was working. I was interning there.
Okay.
Similarly, I interned with the team of Hive on my plate, and so on and so forth. I worked everyone I learned as an intern. First
Okay.
2 years, 2, 3 years of my career was just learning. I didn't own a
Okay.
camera, I didn't own lights, I didn't own a studio. I had a system because I had to edit my short film, so I had to buy a system. And that was pretty
Right.
much that is what I owned as a filmmaker. And rest
Okay.
everything I used to rent out from A to Z. And I remember doing projects for 5,000 rupees, which I would charge 5 lakhs right now. And that
Okay.
was because I wanted to do it, I wanted to build a portfolio. So
Interesting.
then, yeah, I did pick up a lot of short-term courses. I went to FTI for a short-term course. They got me an internship in Mumbai. I worked in Mumbai for 6 months. Struggled actually in Mumbai for 6 months on daily
Okay.
wages, which was really a good experience, I would say. And yeah, it's always been a learning. I still learn. I mean, still date, I look at stuff, I learn from that stuff. I try replicating what international filmmakers or anybody in India also is doing, and we try to kind of get our hands on it.
Okay. Right. That's awesome. So, coming to my next question, what do you think? How important is professional education?
See, self-learning is I teach, right? I run an academy. For me to say professional education is not important would be a very wrong answer. But in the end, more than just professional education, you need a mentor. You need somebody, be it your teacher, be it your friend, be it you, be it me, anybody from the industry who could guide you through the process of learning. So
Okay.
if you have the money, you can go to a college like Whistling Woods. If you don't have the money, you apply for scholarship at FTI. There are so many options available to you, but in the end, it is you who has to work and who has to get his head in the right place and get the
True.
experience out of all these teachers.
Right.
बिकॉज आपको कोई बैठ के स्पून फीडिंग नहीं करेगा आपको बैठ के कोई ये नहीं बोलेगा बेटा ये ना 15 चैप्टर एग्जाम में आने वाले कर लेना दैट इज नॉट
Right.
गोइंग टू हेल्प यू
Right.
रादर I then telling me, okay, Kshitij, you want to do a product shoot? This is the setup that you want to do. Go try. If you make a mistake, I will tell you. That
Right.
is the kind of guidance that people want, real hands-on experience. And I feel that there are education institutions that are doing a great job with hands-on experiences. Like, for example, Capturing Wow, you guys are doing so many online workshops and so many online webinars. We had a huge discussion today about conducting online workshops as well, which I
Right.
feel is a new way of education than going to a regular college school, because you really don't, one camera per 100 people is not the right combination, is what I feel. So you
Right.
need a place or you need an environment where you can actually really try everything hands on and really get the experience out of what people are teaching you.
Right. I mean, see, of course, the way of education is changing because for me, I know I started my own career 16 years back. And I think I keep sharing this with a lot of people who talk to me that how did I start? So when I started off, I remember I knew a photographer, Ashish Sompura. I went to him asking him that, "Oh, I want to be a photographer. What do I buy?" So yes, I knew somebody, but I had that much access that I could ask him which camera to buy, and I bought that camera. He told me that time buy a Canon 20D, and I got into photography buying that camera, but that was it. Now I didn't have any other knowledge. I didn't have any other access to understand anything beyond that. So I spent good amount of 5 years in learning the art and experimenting versus today the reason why we've started something like Capturing Wow, because I think I have in last 1 month talking to such great mentors, people all over the world who've come and spoken on Capturing Wow has enlightened me with so much of knowledge that I do know the minute this lockdown gets over, I want to go back, I want to create a new portfolio. So I mean,
Yep.
okay, I just see this comment coming in. Finally, I can catch you now waiting from morning when it is 4 p.m. So good to hear, and Monty, thank you to say that because I think I and my team, we've been going sleepless nights. I mean, we've been sleeping for only 3, 4 hours because for what we're trying to create. And we thought, initially, we thought, I mean, my parents they started feeling that I'm a bad person. कि यार लोग लोग घर में लॉकडाउन है मैं मेरे रूम में लॉकडाउन हूँ. So my parents have been like kind of given up on me. But I'm happy when I see comments like this and people say they've been waiting for 4 o'clock. So thank you, Monty,
Lovely.
for letting us know. We will continue. Let's go through these comments that have come in here. So we just hello everybody. For a lot of people who joined in now, we are talking to Kshitij, formerly known as Shoot Guru. And yeah, there's a lot of interesting questions I have for him. Also, if you guys have questions, please put your questions in the Q&A tab. We will take your questions because we will not be referring to the comments here. So we have a comments section. Sorry, we have a Q&A section. Put in your questions there. So, okay, Kshitij, moving on to our next segment about inspiration. What is the kind of inspiration that you follow? Whom all are you
People that I
inspired by?
followed in terms of work.
Actually, so inspiration is a broad area. So if we can break it down, any books that you're inspired from, any photographers or filmmakers you're inspired from, what are your sources of inspiration?
So, see, I am not a reader. I don't read too much, so I can't recommend books. I'm very bad with
Okay,
books.
okay,
I don't have the mind space to sit and read. That's a problem, and that is the reason I don't direct also quite often. I like
okay,
doing the technical bit because I like more hands-on experience. But in terms
got
of
it.
filmmakers, I've always followed Philip Bloom, who's a London-based filmmaker,
Okay,
and I really love his work. I almost attend every lecture he gives. I follow his sessions. I follow everything that he does. He's amazing because when I started my career, I got an opportunity to work with him, which actually gave me a boost to kind of really do what I'm doing right now. So that
okay.
helped.
So what genre
Then
does
we
he shoot?
have
What does he shoot about?
he does I would say most of it about him is done documentary. He does a lot of corporate and documentary.
Okay.
He was
So
ex news.
this is
He
Philip.
started as a
How
news.
do you spell his name?
Philip
Okay, Philip. Last name?
Bloom. BLOOM.
Okay, then. So for all you guys, I'm making him spell the name so that you can make your notes and y'all can go look up
Yep.
his work. So that helps
Yep. And he's
everybody out.
amazing. He's in the MZ master classes and all of that as well. And when I started, so we didn't have enough access to YouTube or anything.
Right.
I came across Vimeo.com, and he was one of the instructors at Vimeo.com. That is when I realized, okay, this guy is actually talking serious stuff.
Okay.
And at that time, DSLRs had started shooting. The 5D Mark II had just come out shooting amazing video.
Right.
And I had bought it as my first camera, as my first video camera, and I wanted to know what it can do.
Right.
So we ended up researching so much, we ended up learning so much. So he's the one I actually came across a lot.
Awesome. Awesome.
Then after that, see, for me, every creator that I come across, be it a fresher who's doing brilliant work, be it somebody who's doing brilliant videos or photography, I learn from them. For me, every piece of content that I watch is a learning curve. Every person that I talk to is a teacher for me. Every piece of video that I watch, I consume at least 12 hours of content a day, minimum.
Wow. How do you
I
manage to
barely
do that?
sleep.
How do you
At night,
how do you
I'm actually nocturnal. I'm actually insomniac half of the time. I sleep like 2 3 hours in a day.
okay.
That's kind of a habit that I've built. So I start my day
Okay.
at 4:30 every day, and then my day
4:30
carries on.
4:30 morning.
Yes, I start my
You
day at
start
4:30 in the morning. Yeah.
okay, I end my day at 4:30 in the morning. Shit, okay.
I usually sleep at 11, 11:30, 12, but I make sure that I'm up by 4:30, max by 5. And
Wow.
so I watch a lot of content and I take notes. So be it travel content, I have follow. See, I won't feel shy if I say I follow Sam Kolder, if I follow JR Ali for travel content, because those guys are good. I follow beautiful destinations for their travel content. Those guys are amazing. I look
Right.
at Peter McKinnon for his vlogging content. I look at Casey Neistat for his vlogging content. I look at Peter McKinnon for his educational content.
Right.
Kind of that is why the new studio that I'm building before this lockdown happened, we're building a studio. The new studio that I'm building is very much Peter McKinnon inspired.
Okay.
And then you have Daniel Schiffer. The B-roll video that you guys have put up is actually an inspiration from him because I've never done a B-roll video in my life. And this guy is
Okay.
an expert in what he's doing. So I thought, why not? Let's make it an inspiration video. And I have no regrets or no shyness in saying that, yes, I do get inspiration from filmmakers around me and abroad, whatever, wherever I can find them. Like Aditya is another filmmaker who I really admire because the kind of content. He's a cinematographer, Aditya Verma.
Okay.
He's the
Okay.
one who's done Nande Bhav and who's done Cold Mess, the music videos, and with the latest films, he's there. And the kind of cinematography, the kind of lighting he does is so inspirational that when I did a live session with him, I kept pestering him to tell me the lighting secrets that he uses, and that
Oh
was the
wow.
idea to do that live session. And and I've realized that when you ask somebody politely, they answer.
True.
That age is gone when you used to ask a senior person, ki, sir, how do you operate this camera? And he would look at you as if आपने उनकी जायदाद मांगी है उनसे.
I agree. I mean, sorry, the statement that you said, we did this. I mean, I'll refer to the session we very recently did with Alan Berg. See, Alan Berg had this code, okay, which he showed us. So he said, I mean, that's for sales. He said, you need to ask. I mean, the minute we feel shy, it's gone. I mean, so I totally agree. And for me, in last 1 month, I have reached out to all the stalwarts. I mean, when we began, I was showing pictures of,
Yeah,
I mean, today I feel privileged in going out and showing Tejal Patni's work because I mean he's a magician. I mean I called him the god of photography because today we all know how we say there's a god in cricket. That's such and so for me god in photography is Tejal Patni for the kind of images he makes. So and they are after achieving they have realized that they are more than happy to give. They want to give. And I think for a
yeah.
lot of youngsters who are starting off now, there's nothing better than understanding how they think and we can again.
No, that see, when we started, it was a problem. You ask somebody, they would really look at you and you would hesitate. So that
True.
hesitation would be there. Like for why did I start Shudguru? I answer all my DMs. And the reason to answer all my DMs is I don't want these followers to face what I faced when I started my career. And that is the when I started off, I said, listen, you want to ask anything, just ask, don't be hesitant. I will not charge you to ask me on Instagram. Right? I mean, that is not what the community is built
True.
for. The community is built
True.
for the supporting you. And like for example,
True.
here, if you look at asking people to put their questions in the comment section, the reason we're doing it because we want to document it. Okay, these are the kind of questions people are asking.
Right.
Right?
And we'll make sure we answer them. The idea is that let them get some
Yeah.
education, whatever they want to know. We'll solve their doubts and questions. Perfect. So, chalo, let's move on. We spoke about your inspiration. How do you reinvent yourself? You said you're insomniac, you get a lot of content, but now watching content versus when you're doing, we do understand that inspirational does work in it, but if you can break down the process of reinventing yourself.
See, first, I'm a very big techie. I look at something, I watch a Hollywood film, I watch a Bollywood film, I watch anything, any kind of content. I need to understand how it was shot and
Okay.
what was the idea behind it. Why did a particular director or a cinematographer use a particular kind of lighting for himself? Why did they use that particular camera, or what lenses are you using? So I
Right.
wanted to understand. I always want to understand what, how, where, and why,
Okay.
and that I deconstruct a film. Right? I take up a film. I understand what they're shooting, why they're
Okay.
shooting it. So I understand what is the story, why they're taken up that story for the pre-production bit is done, how they're shooting is comes in, where, as in what technology, what camera. So I look for their behind the scenes, I look for their DOPs or somebody who's tagged them in their scene. I really hunt them down on I kind of at times I run around them on Instagram and I follow their profiles, and I dig the content out. I know I need to have that behind the scenes. I need to know what kind of lighting they were using. I need to know what kind of sound they're using. Why are they doing sync sound? Why are they
Wow.
doing so? I break a film down. I don't enjoy films anymore as a film. I enjoy them as a education story that is teaching me how to create a film of my
Wow.
own.
Wow, I
Now,
think
once
this
I
is very, very, very good, Warren. Very powerful. Sorry, I'll just interrupt you because I think what you said was very commendable because I think you have a lot of eagerness. So you're very eager to go behind how did that person do it. So I think that's a brilliant takeaway for all the audience watching us live right now. That guys, what makes him different is that the eagerness of him wanting to understand, him wanting to deconstruct. I mean, because we've been telling people that you deconstruct your work, but I think it's beautiful that when you're trying to look at another person's work and you're trying to deconstruct how did he do it. And if you do that, then I think that helps you reinventing. Absolutely. I love your thought for that.
and another thing that has actually helped me is once I started doing it, and once I started reposting what I did. So I started tagging these people, and I
Okay.
started complimenting. Okay, inspired by you, I created this. 90% of them replied.
Wow.
90% of them told me, Kshitish, this is the wrong light that you're using, or use an alternate light. This is the wrong white balance you're using, use an alternate white balance. So those kind of
Wow.
tips started flowing in, those kind of tricks started flowing in, which I would usually not kind of get if I would actually have to do it on my own, if I would actually have to do it uh, by asking somebody. If I would have gone to this filmmaker directly and asked him, "Okay, sir, tell me how you did the scene," he would like, "Okay, I did it," and he would give me 10 tips, and that's it. The conversation will end there. The
Right.
conversation starter is, "Sir, I recreated what you did. I know it's not as good, but can you give me some tips?" So I made that 10-minute
So,
conversation into a 10-hour conversation right after that,
wow.
and that has
That's
helped
a,
me a lot.
I think that's a approach. So I think the approach that what you said, you're just changing the approach. And I think you're building that credibility in the opposite person's mind also that यार मैंने इसको कुछ बताया नहीं बट फिर भी उसने सोचा फिर भी उसने आधा तो खुद डिकंस्ट्रक्ट कर लिया चलो बाकी आधा मैं ही बता देता हूँ
Bilkul.
वाह
And that
that's
helped a
amazing
lot. That got me connections for that matter. That got me connection in the industry. That got me networking. I started doing line production for a lot of them. I started working on line production projects for them because now they knew that there is a techie sitting in Delhi who can understand what we need, how we need, why we need it,
wow
and he can deliver
wow
what we want.
brilliant
So
brilliant
I built that relationship, and that is what I keep telling people. Listen, it is no harm in asking. It is no harm in getting inspired and recreating what the inspiration is. It is very easy to copy, but copying the right thing is you need intelligence.
right
And if you
okay
do copy, just give credit. Nobody cares.
right okay that's a very interesting thing that you said I got your process till here but now inspiration is one thing, recreating is another. But now, if you have a client coming into you who says, I want you to create something new for me, how do you come out with a new concept? What's your process for
So,
reaching out a new idea?
okay, for new ideas, it is never solo. I can't do a solo ideation. It has to be
Okay.
an idea fest. I need my team. I need my people around me. I can't come up with ideas without them. They are the one who are putting the masala in. They are the one who are putting the tips in, and they're the one who are actually pulling me wherever I go wrong.
Okay.
These
Wow.
guys have been given the privilege, or they have been given the right to pull me down and say, Kshitij, you're not doing this right. Try it differently. Matlab,
Wow.
it's no yes, okay, you're the boss, we'll do it. No, it's I have asked them to question me if I do anything wrong. I've asked them to actually kind of put my bluff out. If you think I'm bluffing, just ask me out. So if I
Wow.
commit to a project, I will do that, and they know it, and they know it that I'm doing it, and that is by even sitting in quarantine. Whatever content you see on the page right now, the movie facts videos and the movie review videos that will come up. So it's three people in my team, Dimple, four people actually, Dimple, Pulkit, 3G, Dimple, Pulkit, Dipankar, and Sushant, who've been working together on that content. Right. Then we have a full team. I need this team. Without them, I can't come up with ideas. And because we come up with these ideas, we come up with new content, we come up with new things that we want to put out to the community. The best
Right.
bit is they belong to the community. They know what is needed. They know what will work. So the ideas when they come in, now I have a test group that I can work with.
Wow.
I have a test audience that I can work with.
Brilliant, brilliant. I think I see those comments also coming where people are saying teamwork leads to success, and I totally agree to that because I think I have it with my team also. I also realized that the minute having a team together, and if you're giving the control in our team members where they can tell you also if you're going wrong, that's great. But I think gone are those days. I think a decade back, there used to be a boss or somebody who's leading the team and everybody to follow. But today, if you're giving the respect to your team members, and they of course bring a lot of perspective. So even what we are doing at capturing, we have a teams behind, and my team is supporting us, and we are driving as a team. So I mean, it can't be one man army. That day and age is gone.
True,
So true.
very true.
So moving on ahead of this, tell me, Kshitij, what about technology? How much does technology help you? And new technologies, how do you disembark with new technology?
See, like I said, I'm a techie more than a filmmaker. So I have always been a techie. I like trying new things. For example, when drones had just come out, oh sorry, when drones had just come out and people were making their own drones, GoPros didn't have a gimbal at that time. I
Right.
got a drone maker to make me a gimbal in Delhi, and I asked him, and this was a like, weird looking machine that I got him to make for me. And I was shooting weddings that time, and I was using that on a wedding and getting very smooth shots, which people were like, "What the hell is going on? What is he doing?" And so, for me, technology is something that supports you and makes your film the quality better. It is not the whole and soul, of course. Without the man, there is no technology. But what I believe that the technology that you have, the technology that you're working with, will support you in a way where it enhances your quality. If technology is slowing you down, stop it. But if technology is enabling you to do more, for example, I why do I use Lumix? I use Lumix because the kind of features those cameras have. I've tried every other brand, but the camera features those guys, the cameras have, I couldn't find anywhere else.
Right.
4K live cropping, this and that. And I was like, wow. I mean, as a filmmaker, I don't need to carry a slider with me anymore. I can do a live crop inside my camera itself. So, as an independent filmmaker, when I'm traveling, as a travel filmmaker, when I'm traveling, I need to have ways, I need to have technology that will allow me to shoot better quality films, better quality content. Because in the end, if I don't put that content up as a portfolio, I will not get business.
Right.
And you
Awesome.
have to try latest technology every time.
Right. I mean, I think that's brilliant. So, other than cameras, what has been your? I mean, if you can tell our audience three of your latest new discoveries of technologies, what people can adopt, like a little rapid fire. That okay, what
Um,
all do you use for what?
for me, for example, for vloggers, I recommend a 360-degree camera than a GoPro because of the sheer comfort of getting everything around you. Then that has been a very big thing for even in live sessions. I've been recording vlogs on my 360 camera, and that's helped. Then you get portable lights. You get portable LED lights. So there is a brand called Aputure that does amazing portable lights, and I have been using those lights in my live sessions to create that mood, that ambiance, to actually create the whole feel of the live session. And this small light actually
Right.
enabled me to do that. And the third thing is sound. Sound is very important for me, and I have just been exposed to a new technology of sound, which was DT microphones, and I would only see them on Instagram, but recently I got a chance to have them. For a blogger or somebody, a professional, a trainer, sound is important, and you need to have very portable systems to record very high quality sound and even broadcast them.
Oh, interesting. So super. These are interesting products, I think, which not everybody is using, and you bringing light to it. That's great. Tell me, Kshitij, you also, since you create content, I mean, you're known as a shoot guru, but again, what you're doing is exactly what a photography or a filmmaking blogger would do. How do you come out with new topics for your videos and sessions?
See, I feel that every one of us is an educator. Whatever we are working on would actually somehow, somewhere help somebody.
True.
Like we were saying, gone are those days, जहाँ पे we used to think, yeah, if I tell somebody this, he's my competition, he will steal my work.
Right.
That's no longer there, right? In a country of 1 billion people, I mean, if you can't get 10 projects in a month, then you're not doing something right,
Correct.
right? So when I create content, for example, if I'm on a shoot and I try a new kind of a technique of shooting that project, that is my driving force to create a tutorial around it.
Okay, interesting.
Like for example, if I enjoy cooking, I enjoy cooking at home. So whenever I'm cooking, so I keep imagining, okay, if a chef would be cooking, what angle would work? How would I use a slow-mo? Where would I put a light? And those are the tips that people want, because 90% of us are shooting in situations where we do not get a studio to shoot in.
Right.
We are either shooting at homes, we are either shooting with natural light, we are either shooting with available light, and that kind of restricts us from expanding our quality because we're stuck. So the
Right.
problems that I faced, the 10, 12 years of my filmmaking, the problems that I faced are my tutorials to everybody.
Wow. That's interesting. I
Right?
mean,
I'm coming up with a book that's called Mistakes I Made, and I've reached approximately 333 mistakes I've made in production. That
wow.
includes to an extent, when we actually forgot the camera in office and everybody was on the shoot. That has actually happened with me.
Correct.
So, and my team, some of them are viewing this live session right now, they will be hitting their head against the wall because they were part of it.
So, okay, no, that I get that. Okay, so like you said, personal experiences, what you experience is what you bring into your videos. Now, I just saw one or two questions on the top. My question to you will be so that we can help the audience. I saw people asking that about the contest that we are doing. Have you done some pictures in last 40 days of lockdown that we all are in? Have you captured some moments at home? What are the kind of moments you've captured, or can you give some tips to people? Because people are asking me that what kind of pictures can be put out there. So let's hear it from you, that if you have to participate in this captioning or contest, what kind of pictures would you send us and give them ideas?
See, when you're at home, and when the topic is clicking at home, the idea is to be doing something with restrictions. Right, you have maybe a mobile camera, you have a professional camera, maybe you have light or you don't have light. So there are restrictions involved. But what do you have? You have things like, you have props, you have showpieces, you have people, you have family at home. You have, if you're living in PGs, you would have friends at home.
Right.
Create portraits. Use natural sources of light, create black and white portraits, they look beautiful. Create a short film, create a music video for all you care. I mean, those are the things that you can do. There's so much that you can do. In this lockdown, I did a flat lay. I did food flat lay. I did electronics flat lay. I did anything and everything. There's a series is called What You Can Find at Home.
Wow.
I did flat lays. So I did flat lays with natural light. I did flat lays with created studio lights, because I
Wow.
had access to studio lights at home, so I was able to do it. I did time lapses using my phone. I did beautiful sky lapses, sunsets and sunrises using my phone, and I practiced. Okay, what settings work, what don't work. With pictures, I did human portraits. I did portraits of my family. I did portraits of people in my house or near my house who I have access to. I did product shots. I created themes around products. I used, okay, I have the things like I used a knife with a Lego piece to create something kind of a dramatic kind of a scene. So there is so much that you can play around, and especially if you guys can get hands on toys, you can work brilliantly. Do light painting. Light painting looks beautiful. And today phones have the ability to do light painting shots. They have manual mode or they have a light painting mode in them. If you don't have a professional camera, you have light painting. You can do a lot of food shots because you're cooking so much these days. You can do tabletop food shots. You can do BuzzFeed style food shots. You can do food flatlays. You can do recipe shots. So there is so much you can do, and you don't need professional equipment for it. You can use natural light, shoot next to a window to use a light source, use a white bed sheet as a background, or use a towels as background. Towels look beautiful as backgrounds. So
Wow.
there is so much you can actually do sitting at home.
So guys, before we proceed ahead, I hope you guys have got ideas because I saw people asking ki, what kind of pictures can we send out for the contest. So I think Kshitij is given like he's like an encyclopedia with ideas ki yaar, this is what you can do in this lockdown. So I hope those encyclopedia ideas do work for you. So I think
So on that only, so there was a live session that I had with Jassi Oberoi, and
right.
he said one thing that,
He's watching. He's watching us. I've been
yeah,
seeing
he's
Jassi
watching this right now, and he said one thing which has really stuck with me and which has stuck with everybody in my team, with everybody that I know. Riyaz zaruri hai. Practice is important.
Wow.
As an artist, as a photographer, we forget to practice. भैया हम सोच के चलते हैं आईएसओ तो मेरे को आता है, शटर तो मेरे को आता है, पर्चर तो मेरे को आता है, मगर जब एक्चुअल सिचुएशन में आप फंसते हो ना, फंस जाते हो।
Correct.
तो उसके लिए रियाज जरूरी है। एक म्यूजिशियन को अलाप पकड़ने आते हैं मगर वो रियाज फिर भी करता है।
Right.
Right. Swimmer knows how to swim, but he still goes for practice every day. A footballer knows how to kick a ball, but he will still go for practice every day. You take a gym membership, you don't do your own push-ups, you will not
Right.
lose weight. So if you
Right.
bought a DSLR and you don't click pictures, it's a waste.
True. So okay, let's take some questions. We have hello. Could I ask you to please check out my? Is there any scope of internship or assisting you in the group after lockdown? So Kshitij, that's for you.
Okay, we do have internships. We're coming up with a web series post-lockdown. We're still working in the pre-production phase of the web series. The scripting has started, and the first preference is, of course, like I said, given to students and Shoot Guru community. But yeah, do apply for it. If we have an opportunity, we would love to work with you.
Then let's move on. What's the adventure you went on? What is okay? So this is for you. What is the last adventure you went on?
For me, okay. We did a road trip across MP last year, and we created approximately 16 films in 10 days.
Wow.
And 15 of them have been released. It was a project for MP Tourism and Outlook with the producer director called Mandakini Malla, and she took us along as a production team, and we shot the whole thing. And that is where I actually experimented a lot with aerial shots. I experimented a lot with slow-mos and all of that, and we did hyperlapses also. So that was fun. The whole thing across MP was fun.
Wow.
We landed in a place where there was no road, and our cars got stuck in the sand, and there was nobody for at least 2 kilometers. So I remember we kind of doing tricks to pull out the cars, and we managed to get out of the place. It was a river bank, and we didn't realize that the river was so much in that we could actually come into the river bank with the cars, and which was a bad move, but still it was a good experience. We now know what not to do. But yeah, that was a really good adventure, and it was really good fun.
Awesome. Okay, so we have this guy Arush who's been asking 1500D versus 3000D.
See, I have no clue. I haven't tried both the cameras, but both of them are entry-level cameras. With the entry-level cameras, the best way to do it is look at which feature is the best feature that you can get. What feature can you find which is better than the other camera, and just pick that camera that works very, very well.
of all the categories or genres you shoot, okay, this is an interesting question for you. Of all the categories or genres you shoot, which do you enjoy the most and which is the most challenging?
Okay, I love doing travel. Um, Travel is both enjoyable and challenging because we get into situations where we don't want to be in, and yet we enjoy the views, we enjoy the whole journey of getting that film done. I remember I was doing one for J&K Tourism. I was in Jammu. I landed at an Air Force base by mistake, which said that trespassers will be shot, and we missed that board and we landed right at the base with the
Right.
GoPro running. Imagine that. And so
Wow.
they took our cameras, they took the footage, they made us delete that clip, and all of that happened. It was an experience, but at the same time, the views that we were getting at that point in time were like, wow, I would never get those views again. And I don't have the footage for them, so I can vouch for it that I will never get those views again. But yeah, travel is something which is both challenging and most enjoyable for us.
So Ashu is asking, in short videos, what do you like? One short film or different cuts? Or does shoot depend on story mode? That's Ashu's question for you. Then
See,
no, no, don't answer. Don't
okay,
answer.
yeah, sorry. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So,
Please, please, please. I
which to
forgot.
use flash or preset mode is some Akash is asking us that. Nirbhav is asking, of all the categories or genres you shoot, which do you enjoy the most and which is the most challenging? In a short film, what do you
Yeah.
like most? One short film or different cuts? Or does it depend on story mode? That's a very interesting
See,
question, Ashu. I love your question.
See, when it comes to films, I have a belief that content is king. So
Right.
whatever your content is asking, whatever your content is demanding, whatever treatment of film the content is asking and demanding, is what you need to actually do, is what you need to actually work on. And as a cinematographer, you make your decisions based on what the director's vision is and what your the story is really asking for.
Right.
I know this film, which is on, it's running on Netflix called Teen or Aadha. The whole film has only three cuts. So every segment of the film is a full one take, a very long one take scene, and
Wow.
series of scenes actually, not one scene, but series of scenes, and it is beautifully done. It's by a director called Dargai, and amazingly shot and amazingly done. Then so it's your choice. Music videos, on the other hand, if you look at them, they look good only when there are a lot of cuts because there's a beat, there is a mood involved in it, there is a way they are actually they progress in storytelling. So music videos are done differently. So again, genre to genre, type of film to film, and most importantly, the storyteller's vision, the director's vision, and the writer's vision is very important.
Right. So okay, Ashu, I think can you repeat the name of the series?
It's a movie called Teen or Aadha, 3.5. If you Netflix it, it's on Netflix and amazing film.
Awesome. I think that's a very interesting thing that you spoke about, and I think it's what you said is so right that it's on you. What are you trying to make? I mean, there's no hard and fast rule either. So for music videos, it's totally different, and if your movie has a different genre, you treat it differently. So I
Ji.
think it's more on the treatment you want to give to the project you're doing. Okay, there's a very interesting question. You have a big number of following on your Instagram. So can you enlighten people on how to increase followers, authentic followers on Instagram?
Okay, it's all about engagement. You have to answer to every question. You have to answer to every post comment. You have to answer to every DM that you get. Create content that is engaging. So your content also should talk. It can't just be a picture. It should be a picture that tells a story.
Okay.
Right. It has to be about, and for us, the biggest thing was that we are a giveaway page. Every post for us is a giveaway. So awards attract people a lot.
Right.
And that is why the followers also kept coming in. We hold one big giveaway every month. Plus, we do daily post giveaways also, in which we give out merchandise. We give out the film merchandise. We give out goodies. We do T-shirts, camera straps, and all that. So that was always a good thing. But the really retention, the most loyal followers I got was from engagement. The
Okay.
engagement I made, I talked to them. I helped them solve their problems. I helped them shoot. I did free consultancy for them. If you are an experienced photographer and somebody asks you, how did you click that picture? Kindly explain it to them in the comments. Don't only
Right.
DM it. Because when you explain it in the comments, you actually create an engagement right there and you get an opportunity to showcase everybody else. Okay, there is a person here sitting who is imparting education through his thoughts.
Right.
Right? So that helps a lot.
Awesome. Awesome. I see this interesting question come in. Love, I am 49, individual, qualified and experienced photographer facing a challenge of not getting work. Now, I can't read the entire question, but
So want to collaboration with some experts, how and where? It's about collaboration.
correct.
Love,
Right.
you want to answer that?
So okay, being see, I think age is firstly when this is the dharma photo film. So dharma, firstly, I think the age is just a number. So I don't think firstly we should even look at the age fact, whether you're young or you're old. I mean, today I've seen people even at 18 doing mind blowing things, and today people even at 60 doing mind blowing things. I think the most successful photographers have even died at the age of 70 clicking good pictures. So today, age is not a qualification. Now, as far as you're having a challenge in collaborating, I can't read the whole question. Kshitij. What is after facing a challenge of
This
not
is
getting work?
facing challenge of not getting work as individual. So want to collaborate with some experts. How and where?
So I think collaborating with experts is, I think we discussed this in the initial conversation when Kshitij was talking about reaching out to experts. I think till the time you do not reach out, it's not going to change. You need to reach out to people, and I think people are very forthcoming. I think Kshitij and I are the most recent examples where we are reaching out to the community, we are reaching out to different people, and people are helping us. So people are open to sharing. So till the time you don't reach out, go out there in the market, reach out to them for collaboration. Now, if you're talking of business, if you're saying I want to get more work, yes, you need to go and market yourself, sell yourself. You need to have a good website to show your
Yeah,
work
you
there.
need a good portfolio.
Correct.
You need
So
a very, very strong portfolio.
right. So I think the process would start off from building, firstly, learning. I mean, I do not know at what level of work you are at. So first, I would say it would begin up with your. I'd very recently heard from some business trainer talking about different steps. So the first step is education. So I think first, if your education is clear, then you get into putting out your work in a portfolio. Then you create a good portfolio.
Very true.
After you have
Very
your
true.
portfolio, go out there, market yourself, send out emails, pick up the phone, call people, tell them what you do. Yes, selling is important. Go and sell yourself. The minute you have done this whole process, work will automatically come to you, because guess what? The population in our country is so big, they all need professionals. Today, how much ever we
True.
say mobile phones are coming in. I have a small story to share. I was talking to a very close friend of mine who's a very big, well-known singer. He called me yesterday saying, Love, I am stuck. I have shot something at my home. I've given the camera to my mom. He had a DSLR at home, okay? And he said, अब मैं कार्ड कैसे डालूं? So I'm on the phone telling him कि कार्ड ऐसे डालते हैं, ऐसे कॉपी करो. And I was explaining him the process. So I said, bro, यार ये लॉकडाउन में तो क्या हो रहा है? तुम हमारा बिजनेस करो तो हम क्या करें? हम गाना गाना शुरू करें? So, but it's okay. I mean, at the end of the day, today with this lockdown, every other artist who's not even a photographer is becoming a photographer. Having
Yeah.
said that, you have to know what is a USP. What are you giving differently to people? The minute you have something new to offer the client will hire you for sure. So you need to
Very true.
figure out your USP, figure out what can you do differently, and the person will hire you for sure. So I hope it
Good.
answers your
Very true.
question, Dharma. So moving on to the next question. If you want to add anything to it, Kshitij?
No, I think that's perfect. And one thing what people are afraid of is asking. They should actually be persistent in asking collaboration, people to work with, people to be on projects together, and don't hesitate. ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा क्या होगा? मना ही करेगा. There's nothing more than that
Right.
the person can do. So
Right.
don't be afraid anymore to ask. I mean, see, this is the problem that I face in particular. I'm sorry to say this, but particularly in India, people are very afraid to ask.
True.
They're afraid that the answer will come no. Don't be afraid of getting no as an answer.
Kshitij, oh my God, sorry, I mean, you're exactly sounding like Alan Berg. These are the same words Alan Berg said like 4 days
Nice.
back in a webinar, and I know my sister was watching it. The next day, my sister comes and tells me, like, this is last night, okay? My sister heard this from Alan Berg saying this, that don't be afraid to ask, and ask for what Alan Berg said, ask for a sale. I think a lot of us, हम शर्मा जाते हैं कि हम पैसा
बिल्कुल.
कैसे मांगे क्लाइंट से, हम कैसे क्लोज करें, हम एडवांस कैसे मांगे. Believe me, I mean, we are running a business and my sister is very good at sales. But she shared with me yesterday that, okay, I learned this from Alan Berg. And yesterday afternoon, she was talking to a client. My sister runs a networking club. So somebody called her for the networking club, how to become a member. First time she changed the format and she told the person that, okay, when are you sending me the money in my bank account? So I think वो थोड़ा आपको, you will have to go out of your comfort zone and be okay to ask. I mean, I think asking is very important. जब तक आप मांगोगे नहीं सामने वाले से, वो आपको अपने जेब से
बिल्कुल.
पैसे निकाल के देंगे नहीं. And we all need money to survive. We are a professional,
बिल्कुल.
so let's not shy away. But I mean, unbelievable, Kshitij, you just sounded like Alan Berg. ऐसे तेरी Indian version of Alan Berg कहाँ से आ गया इधर?
नहीं.
Okay, so let's pick up some new questions. I see so many. How to make a strong portfolio? That's a very interesting question. Kshitij, why don't you take this?
Yeah. So basically, whatever this thing that I tell to everybody in all my live sessions and whatever workshops I do or wherever I go, no matter what you do in life, be it a project worth zero, be it a project worth $1,000, lakh, 10 lakhs, a crore, no matter what you do in life, remember it is your project, it is your baby, it is what you will use as a showcase to get more business. So
Right.
in the process, you have to realize you will not compromise on quality. You have to realize you will not compromise on your work, and you have to compromise that you will not at all ever compromise on your skills, because that is what is being showcased through that work.
True.
Right? So whatever genre you want to get in, start working on that. Approach clients. Tell, if you want to work with a restaurant, you don't have never worked with a restaurant, go to a restaurant. Tell them you'll do the food photography for free, and they can pay you with food. Why not? Because you need that portfolio. You want to put your hand on a wedding, go to a friend who's getting married, go to a cousin who's getting married, tell them, okay, you've hired a professional, it's fine, can I please take some pictures on your wedding, and can I use them as my portfolio? Your cousins, your friends will not say no. My first
Right.
portfolio as a wedding photographer and a filmer was a very close friend whose wedding gift was that film and those photographs. And
Right.
it worked. That generated huge amounts of business for me. Even though I stopped doing weddings after a while, but it helped a lot.
True. That's amazing.
So
Chalo.
just go out and try.
True. So Suhan is asking us one suggestion for gimbal shoots.
Okay, gimbals are tricky. People think that gimbals do everything on their own. They're automated. They're not. You have to learn how to balance a gimbal first, the right way to balance a gimbal first. Learn that. There are a lot of videos available. There's a video available on my channel also. You can watch that. Second, you need to know the kind of shots you can do, the movement, that the possibilities that your gimbal has, they're amazing. So go to YouTube, search for things like 10 kind of shots that I can do with the gimbal. Google things like a variety of shots that I can do in gimbal. You will get to understand the kind of shots you do. So you can do a jib shot, you can do a fake slider, you can do a track in, track out shot. There is a huge versatility, but be very sure that you have the perfectly balanced your gimbal, and that is the only mistake people make.
Right. So Suhan is only asking a very connected question: how to make cinematic look. I think that's a long one, but he'll try to put it in short.
If I want to touch upon it, cinematic look depends on very basic 2 to 3 things. The first thing is the technology that you're shooting on, as in what colors are you shooting on. So colors affect the cinema. What kind of bit rates are you shooting on? Those affect a cinematic look, because the color grading will depend on that. Sound makes cinema. It is not only the shot, the sound, the supporting sound, be it the Foley sound, be it the natural sync sound, be it a background score. Anything that you use to support that shot or support that film also makes it cinematic. And final one is the aspect ratios that you shoot on, and the technology, the color profiles that you shoot on will allow you to color grade it better in post to make it look cinematic with nice slow-mos, add slow-mos to your film, add smoother motions to your film. And even if you do a blank shot, or basically a block shot, make sure that every frame that you take is a composition on its own and it tells a story.
Right. Awesome. I think that's some. मतलब this was like a rapid fire. आपने ऐसे in one minute में आपने इतने बड़े एरिया का जवाब दे दिया. That's commendable, Shudil.
Thank you.
So, okay, this is ideas or concepts come in my mind, but I can't execute it in the way what I assume. So how can I improve this?
Okay. That happens to every one of us. See, I learned something from Gary Vee, and Gary Vee is another reason that Shoot Guru is existing today. That when I got a chance to talk, and he said that when I told him about Shoot Guru and I'm planning to do something like this, you know what he said? He said, listen, ideas are shit, execution is everything. So
wow.
I get story ideas every day. I make a short film in my head. If I'm sleeping, if I'm working out, if I am on the road, if I'm sitting on the pot in the morning, bloody hell, I make 10 movies when I'm sitting in there. So ideas come to you anywhere you are. It's just that how many of those ideas are you willing to execute? How many of those ideas are you willing to write on the paper or in your notes or in a voice note, wherever you can save it? How many of your ideas are you willing to research for whether such ideas actually exist or not? How many of those ideas are you willing to research on how they have been executed, or how similar ideas have been executed and how you can do it either similarly or different? So
Right.
again, it's all about execution.
So true. So true. I mean, I know what you're saying. I do follow Gary Vee, so I totally agree to that, what you just said. So, okay, next question is from Akshay. So how to manage white balance? Should we use flash or preset mode, because auto is not good sometimes?
Auto is pathetic. Move to manual modes and try setting kelvins. Start working with kelvins. Understand how light temperatures work. Understand what white balance really is, and carry gray color paper or a white color paper with you, which is a perfect white and perfect gray. If you can't afford gray cards or you can't afford white balance cards, carry such things with you on a shoot and do a white balance before you start.
Awesome.
Don't depend on raw for white balance.
Right. So guys, a lot of questions coming in the comment box. Please put your question in the question box, because I'm not able to look at the comments. I'm picking up questions coming in the Q&A tab. So if you have any questions, put it there. So next 10 minutes, we will end this session. So put in a question immediately there. So right way to color grade the whole video at once if possible.
Color grading is not a fast job. Color grading is not a shortcut. That is why a colorist earns more than I do. For one simple reason, every shot, okay, if the same scene has same angle, same camera, you can do them at once. You can select them, you can paste the attributes. But if there are multiple cameras being used, if there are multiple scenes in a film, if there are multiple shots being taken, the lighting changes, the colors change, the ambiance changes. So you can't have the same look being put throughout. You have to treat every shot differently. You have to treat every scenario, every scene, every setup very differently. That is why a colorist takes the longest amount of time to kind of finish the product and make it look so cinematic, because he has to go through the whole process again. And the worst bit is he doesn't watch the film. He goes clip by clip, editing, matching color, matching the feel, matching the look, getting approvals on that, and then going forward. So he's actually watched every scene 20 times, and a filmmaker would watch it 10 times. So color grading is not a fast forward thing.
Right. Chalo, this is the next interesting question, and I think it's going to put you on a spot. Sony A7 III versus Panasonic GH5. And
hey, it's a controversial question.
So exactly. आजाद हूँ मैंने मतलब बोलते ना कम से कम 5 बार एक क्वेश्चन डाला and saying please take my question. So Azad, here is your question for your shoot guru. Let's see what he has to say for this.
Mate, you know my answer. I would not burn my fingers. No, but anyways, I have tried all the brands. I've tried all the technologies available, and the GH5 and the GH5S were my first two cameras from the Lumix range. Even though I use the S1H right now, but GH5 and GH5S were my first go-to cameras, and for one simple reason: the color sense, the 10-bit on-camera option, the 4K resolution option and the 4K live cropping features, that it has so much to offer. Where there were other brands at one point in time making their open source softwares, and they were asking people to use things like Magic Lantern to play with them, Lumix said, listen, I'm giving you everything in one software, you do whatever the heck you want to do with it. And that is why I love them, and that is why I've been using it. All my films, if you go, I'm putting up my portfolio on my website next week. All the films that you guys will see, the whole Swiss tourism campaigns, the MP tourism campaigns, all my travel films. I've shot extensively in travel space. I've shot extensively in documentary space. Have been shot on Lumix because of the workflow, because of the easy usability and the format, the bits, the files, and the color space. It's amazing.
Right. Perfect. So moving on, what's your take on under 1 minute films? Mehul is asking this to us.
I love them. Under 1 minute film, if you can make a film and tell your story under 1 minute, that is when you become a filmmaker.
Wow, so true. I totally
Because
agree.
to pick up a story which is 20 page long and put it in 1 minute without losing the essence, without losing the quality, without losing the core value of the story, you're explaining that film to or you're giving that film to your audience. That works brilliantly.
Right.
So these are called mini shorts. These are called mini shorts, and mini shorts work brilliantly. For me, I love them.
Anything before we close you want to add to people, Kshitij?
Just that, see, one thing that I really want to tell people is don't give up. If you're following your passion, if you're having hurdles in your passion, don't give up. If you guys are stuck anywhere, we are here to help you guys out. Don't worry about it. Just ask. Don't hesitate in asking. One thing, remember in life, don't hesitate in asking. But Bloody, Tata Sky भी बोलता है पूछने में क्या जाता है. So just ask, man. It doesn't matter. What you'll get is a no. Just ask. You want to ask me what camera I use? Just you want to ask me if I can help you in a film? Just ask. And believe me, 99.99% of the time, there will be a yes. Because the confidence and the passion that you show will be what will be talking in return. So be confident, keep on it, keep practicing. That is my new motto after Justice Sir's live. Keep practicing. Make sure every day is a learning curve. Make sure every day is something that you can actually work on and works for you.
Absolutely. So well said, Kshitij. I mean, thank you very much for throwing so much light and throwing so much insights. It's been lovely.